Okay, and welcome everybody again. And this is building a top-notch personal brand. One of the best ways, one of the best critical ways that you can become indispensable in your industry is for you to invest in your personal brand as an expert, as a business professional. And one of our courses, we spoke about conquering irrelevance, which is part of building your industry brand. I am one of those who always advocates that when you enter a certain level, and I always like to use the age of 27, 28. If you're 27, 28 and above, one of your critical assets that you need to build is your personal brand and your industry brand. These are two different things, but they go hand in hand. You can have a good personal brand, but when it comes to the industry, you have no name. But what I'm going to handle, adding with what we already handled during Conquering Irrelevance, the two can enable you to build a personal brand and also build an industry brand. Okay, good. So, and everybody likes to be indispensable. Everybody likes to be indispensable. Let's do an exercise. What was your favorite nickname in secondary school or university? And did you like it? If yes, tell us why. If you did not like it, don't bother participating. Write in the chat box, what was your favorite nickname in high school or in the university, in secondary school and university? For those who had nicknames, some people are too quiet, and that's part of branding now. Some of you, if you pass secondary school and university with no nickname, it means that your brand was not tough. That's why this exercise is coming. Omoye Bright, interesting. People are gonna talk. Let me see the most. Lady Cold, okay. Market seller, interesting. Okay, we're gonna come to market seller. Yoruba Arafat. Okay, good. I'm seeing something, right? Excellent. Now we're gonna talk with see now. I'm forced to say it was saying I want to call him Arafat. Okay. Let's start with I think it's Angel, market seller. Unmute yourself and talk. Why were you called a market seller? Why do you think you had that name?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, executive.
Yes, talk louder, please.
Are you forgetting me?
Yes.
Okay. I was called a market seller because my mom owned a store, and my name also is always in one popular Nigerian movie that they used to call. My name is Angelica. I'm a market seller, so
Okay.
that's my name. And as
Okay.
my mom had a store, I used to assist my mom and sell in a store.
Okay.
That's how the name came about. So
Good.
if I do
Good.
anything stupid in school, my cousin would, my cousin would just annoy me and say, Angelica, the market seller, go and sell in your
Okay.
mother's store.
Okay. Good. Now, follow this pattern carefully. That was branding. That was how you built a brand, even unconsciously. Now, two things are involved. You were linked to a trend, to a movie trend, to a Nollywood movie trend. And that was how you got that name. Secondly, you were linked to a platform, your mother's store. You understand? So, and it is very practical in the society and in the business world. You can build, you can take advantage, like in business right now, in the terms of them referring you to a Nigerian movie. In business right now, where you are more strategic and more intentional, you can see a trend that is rising, and you are proactive enough to plug yourself into that trend and tap into that trend and build an incredible brand. Don't forget these guys. And then if you look at the platform, she was being linked to her mother's store. So it's possible to also build a personal brand because you are linked to a platform. You are linked to somebody. That's why there was a research done one time which stated that if you want to get into an industry, you can start snapping pictures and selfies with top players in that industry and sharing on social media platforms. Automatically, when people start seeing that you are mingling around with this type of people, They start relating you, and they start having a particular perception about you, because branding is based on the perception certain people have about you. Are we following this? So that is it. This is very critical in your journey as a business executive. Yes, let's go to Aya Abini. I'm loving this class already. I tell you guys now, the class will be amazing. Yes, where did that name come from? What prompted the name? Did you like it?
Okay, good evening, executive. Good evening, coach. Hope
Good evening.
you can get me.
Yes.
Okay, so in my case, I actually kind of pushed the name myself, and then it was accepted now because by then Arafat used to make a lot of noise. That should be around 2011.
Yes.
And Buddha, Zoropoto, I mean those songs that were trending around that time. And so since I used to dance, what you call Pongo and Zoropoto and all of that.
Yes.
And then I also used to dress like that. And then I even shaved my hair, following the way he shaved his hair and things like that.
Okay, good.
When I presented myself as Yoruba, I was accepted.
Good, good.
And then you see 8,500 with me saying some votes d'animation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I liked it again, maybe because I'm the one who pushed the name, and most of the time I'm the one who has pushed the names I've gotten because they passed a message to me and they made me to feel a particular way. So I kind of liked the name because that's who I was at that time.
Yes, yes, excellent. Now you guys are seeing something here, and the brand name was growing, and people liked it, and he liked it. Why? Look at his case now. His case is because he was connecting himself to an influencer. He was connecting himself to somebody who had built an industry, let me say so, a semi-industry under the main industry, and he was able to plug himself, and most importantly, he was able to replicate that person, and the brand was built, influence was built, perception was transferred from the main person, from the main player to him. You see? So you can be able to do that also in business. And that was business, because if he continued in that direction and started organizing local shows and charging 200 francs, I am sure people would have paid and come watch him dance and imitate his icon. You get the point? So it is very critical for us to understand that it is the same in your career and in your business. You indirectly were doing, you are building a top-notch brand already in your secondary school and university days. So have you ever wondered whether it is necessary to build a personal brand? The truth is that if you are very serious about your career, you must have wondered about this. And building a personal brand is imperative to you, whether you're a student, you're a job seeker, you're a working professional, you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a young woman or man looking forward to get married. Right? Yeah. Because trust me, like now in our days, before you ask a girl out, you're looking for more than beauty. You're looking for something more, something different, something that is unique and that is more strategic as far as that particular person is concerned. So whether you are intentional about building a top-notch personal brand or not, you are already a personal brand by default. Do you know that? If you don't invest in your personal brand, you already have a brand. You already have a brand of uselessness. You already have a brand of a non-entity. You already have a brand of nothing to offer. You already have a brand of an average performer. You already have a brand of a yeye person. That's already a brand. So you just have to choose whether you have to be on the good side of having the right brand or on the bad side of having the wrong brand. Like they always say, vanity is vanity. Choose your own vanity. I prefer to have my vanity of driving my favorite Range Rover Jeep 2022 series than to be trekking under the sun day and night. All is vanity. You get a point? So it's the same for branding. So as long as you're alive, you have a personal brand. And it is either a good personal brand or a personal or a bad personal brand. And there's warning for you. Building a top-notch personal brand takes consistency and time. Let me warn you, because this is where many young people want to mess up. Like many young people want to rise and they want to compare with guys who have been in the industry for 15 years. That's stupidity of the highest order. Having the right brand in any industry takes time. Let me give you an assignment. Go and look at anybody you admire who is leading in whatever they do and has a good brand. Go and check. They have not put in less than 9 to 10 years plus and above in what they have been doing that has enabled them to command a certain level of personal brand in that industry. So because I'm teaching you personal brand doesn't mean that tomorrow morning you wake up and you just have a very strong name in the industry, except the only way that you can shine like that and be everywhere in Cameroon is for you to go and release a sex tape on social media. You will hammer Nana. That's still the brand. All the blogs will share in Cameroon, and that's how your name becomes a national name. And then you have a brand. But the point is, can you monetize that kind of brand? The point is, can you influence the society with that kind of brand? The truth is that negativity can never be sustainable. Only positive brands get to last forever. So you have to choose as far as that is concerned. So whether you're trying to build a business, you're trying to find a job, or get noticed by the press, or impress your vendors, or attract influential contacts, or simply make new successful friends, a powerful, attractive, and visible brand is very important. That's a fact. For somebody to do business with you, for somebody to buy with you, they love your brand. I know people that one lady came and paid for a coaching session, and she told me that I just wanted to let it be that Joybert is my coach. That's all she wanted. And she's satisfied with that. Right? Getting a job is also branding. Imagine you're going to look for a job when your name is already everywhere in that industry. You will never need to look for a job. Companies are fighting for you. When I get noticed by the press, there are people that they desire, oh, I wish I'm on CRTV, I wish CRTV is calling me, I wish BBC is calling me, I wish it's calling me. One of the best ways to do that is to build a strong brand in your industry. That's one of the best ways to do that. I remember in 2013 and the 14 and the 15, I used to work very hard. I sent emails to TVs. Nobody has my time. I wanted to feature in newspapers and TVs and radio. Nobody has my time. But when the brand started growing, every day I received media people sometimes in the office where they're sending me questions, but so I had to refuse many. Why? Because TVs and any media platform depends on good content. Because anybody with a good brand will give them good content for people to watch or read whatever they're writing or listen to whatever that they're doing. Okay? Want to attract influential contacts. There are some contacts that if you try to reach them with a lower brand, they're not going to have your time. But when your brand grows, you start mingling around them, you start having dinner with them, you start speaking on the same platform with them, for example, or you start being where they mingle, and that's how you get to connect with them. You don't just sit and you're a nobody and you want to enter in certain platforms. It doesn't work like that. So, and it is also key to building your reputation. Personal branding is key in building your reputation, your credibility, and most importantly, being successful in your professional and personal life. Warning number 2, building a personal brand goes beyond taking new photos and having beautiful flyers. That is just part of building a brand. Why am I saying this? Because right now, what many people do is that they go and take photo shots in studios and all of that and come and post on social media. In their mind is they're being branding. That is not building a personal brand. Yeah, that's just elements. Those are just tools to enhance your brand. That's what I mean. People that said they share very good photos consistently, but the brand is still very weak. Because one sign of a good brand is that you should be able to monetize it. You should be able to influence it. You should be able to pick your phone and call an office and influence that office with your brand. It's very possible. So that is beyond that. So really now, what is personal branding? What is personal branding? Personal branding is the perception people have about you when they think about you. Think about someone you know quite well. The person does not have to be your friend, but you must know a few things about that person other than their physical appearance. That is really a brand. That is why if I call Samuel Eto'o right now, you're going to think about football. People who are good at football, they're going to think about Barcelona where he played. They're going to think about Inter Milan where he played. If I call John Frondi, for example, if I call Dangote, for example, if I call whoever, your mind is going to run beyond their physical appearance. And that is a rebrand in your mind about these people. So what is the perception? Especially when the perception is to a target market. Like, for example, you cannot say that if they call you, if you're, let's say you're into youth empowerment, you organize youth conferences, speaking events, when they call your name in a youth event, what comes to the mind of those people? That is really your personal brand. Activity, write down the name of your 3 most admired friends, list 3 objectives you will use to describe them. Whatever objectives you come up with as a result of as a result of the perception the person created. Reach out to your 3 friends and ask them to list 3 adjectives to describe you. Now, think of we're gonna do all of this, but create time and do assignments, exercise, and it's gonna be very interesting for you. But right now, think of your closest friends. Think of one of your closest friends and try to describe them with 3 adjectives. Write in the chat box. Maybe your best friend. If you're married, why not with your wife or your husband? Okay, consistent, determined, and focused. Okay, that's Betila. Reliable, analytical, focused. Okay, that's the rebrand. Yes, just analytical is a rebrand. Absolutely. Yes, yes. I need more people. People are thinking now. You don't have to describe. It means that your friends don't have brand in your name, Abby. Okay, so whatever that comes, for example, it could be beautiful, it could be passionate, it could be courageous, it could be hardworking, it could be intelligent, it could be pushful, as a saying, it could be they're wonderful, they are zealous, they are obedient, they are proud, they are purposeful, they are eager, they are committed, they are honest, all of that. That is the real brand. And the difference now is if 1,000, 100,000, 1 million people in a target market know that that is who you are, that is who that person is, that is the brand. Okay? So when you also go reach out to these your 3 friends and let them describe you with 3 adjectives. Let's continue. As an entrepreneur or a business person, now think about what your clients think about you and your business. How would customers describe you to other people they met? That is really a brand as an entrepreneur or as a business person, or as far as your business is concerned. The answers that they give will be based on the perception they have of you. That is what branding is all about. Now, just imagine how your customers can describe you to other customers who are planning to come buy from you. That is really your brand, right? It is beyond where the business is located. It's beyond the logo of the business. It's beyond the colors of the business. Yes, these are important, but they are brand elements. The real brand is the perception and in the number of people that have that perception about you. Quickly, 6 reasons why you need a personal brand. Number 1 is it gives you visibility. If you really want to be out there, you really want people to know you and respect you, you need to invest in building your personal brand. It gives you visibility because your personal brand is a unique identifier. No two people act exactly like you, not even children born of the same mother or twins. Therefore, when you embrace the totality of who you are and are intentional about building a top-notch personal brand, it makes people notice you. When people notice you, they become more interested in what you have to offer. The question is, what is unique about you that can make people to notice who you are? That can make people to notice the value that you have to bring to the table. That is what personal branding will do for you. Activity. State 3 reasons why you need visibility. All right, from now henceforth, please not this careful. From now henceforth, take down these activities. When we are done with personal branding, you're going to send the activities that you have responded to in a Word document. You send them to Laurentine, and she's going to take notes as we do our normal examination process. Please, if you have heard the assignment indicate received, let me say it again. From now henceforth, from this very activity till we finish this course, anywhere you see an activity, write it down, screenshot it if you can. After the course, tomorrow, or when we are done today, you have, we have till Friday, you are going to compile and respond to all of these activities and send to Laurentine or Teresh. It's part of your program. All right, let's proceed. Why do you need visibility? 3 reasons. And I'll need to be very tailored. Your executives, you are mature. Don't just say openly, no. Be very personalize it. Let's say that, let me pick name. Let's say it's Aya Abine. He's talking about it. I say, I need visibility as a trainer because of this, personalize it. If it's Felix, if it's Emmanuel Kanda, personalize it, relate it to your work, relate it to your business, relate it to your industry. Don't speak like a general Cameroonian. That's where you're going to fail exams. Because it's what you need to write and implement. You're not writing to please me. We have passed beyond the age of pleasing people, Abi. Good. Number 2, building a personal brand positions you as an authority in your industry. A top-notch personal brand positions you as an authority. When people know they can count on your opinion, listen to this carefully. When people know they can count on your opinion, then they are more apt to do business with you. Yes, that is why it is important for you to be intentional about building a top-notch personal brand. Research on topics you're passionate about, share on these topics more often. This helps you to connect with people, and it makes them begin to view you or see you or recognize you as an authority. That is it. It's only going to make you better. So you cannot become an authority in a sector with a weak personal brand. It's not possible. Okay? So another activity you have to do, list 3 sectors. And I've gone further to give you an examples. List 3 sectors. It could be technology, marketing, finance, blockchain, agriculture, business consulting, fashion, whatever sector you're in, but list 3 sectors that you would love to position yourself as an authority in. Yes, it's possible that, but if you want to specialize just in one, you can write 1. If you want to specialize in 2, you can write 2, but maximum 3. Because it's possible to build authority around 3 sectors, but it can take you a while. It can take you 10 years, 15 years, where you are recognized as an authority in more than 3 areas. A lot of hard work and commitment. Okay, good. Number 4, it's a lead magnet. Yes, very powerful. Personal brand is a lead magnet. Have you ever seen a situation whereby someone leaves a compelling comment on a post, like on social media, and you immediately decide to click on their name to look them up? Has anybody ever done that on social media? Like you're just passing over, you see a post somewhere, and then there's this sweet comment, there's this intelligent, nice, structured, wonderful comment. It sounds so intelligent. You are, in short, you don't even know when you clicked his profile to or her profile to read more about the person and even sent a friend request. Anybody ever did that? Have you ever done that on social media?
Yes, sir.
Good. Why do you think it happened? Why do you think it happened? It's because how they sounded, the knowledge that they communicated, position them, increase their perception in your mind. And that was a lead magnet, because if you click and like their profile and if they have anything to sell, they'll quickly sell to you. That's a lead magnet. That is what happened to people who have mastered the importance of building a top-notch personal brand. Building a top-notch personal brand requires that you identify those things. Follow this carefully. You identify those things that make you unique. You talk about them. This is one of the biggest secrets of personal branding. Yeah. You identify those things that make you unique. Talk about them and be part of meaningful conversations that align with your values. Let me give you an example. One of the most popular things right now happening is content creation now on Cameroon social media space. Like people writing content, writing quotes and all of that. In 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was not that popular. Like I can tell, I've been writing and sharing on Facebook like this since 2014 and 13. Sometimes I screenshot the things I wrote 10 years ago and I screenshot and I share. And people like, you have been writing for 10 years? Yes. Now, but here's the point. When I started writing, I used to write a lot on personal development. But then I noticed that I was not only having a lot of passion in that area, and I started switching. But also one thing I noticed that a lot of people are venturing into personal development, and I choose that, you know what, I'm going to retailer my model of writing and start writing about hard things, writing about strategy, technicalities, and a couple of things, linking some things. I look at the things I create, I have a framework developed around that intentionally, because that is the best way to build a brand that can stand out in the industry. Because like right now, anybody can write about goal setting, anybody can write about time management, write about inspiration, motivation, like it's everywhere now, which is good. No problem with that. For those who are starting, no problem with that, right? But you need to be very strategic for you to be ahead of the game. And one of the best ways is you need to look back. Like one time I sat down and said, Joybert, I challenged myself. Like if you stop writing about goal setting, stop writing about I wrote down things that any other person would write about easily. And I said, from today, don't write any content around this thing. And I stopped it. And I challenged myself to take it to another dimension. I discovered the more unique things that I'm passionate about, the things that I love to talk about them, and how I can create meaningful conversations on different platforms, on social media, TV and radio and whatever, that can prompt people to see that, oh, this is top leadership and it's different. And I make sure that it aligns with my values as a person. That is brand, that is you building a top-notch personal brand. That's why I said it requires that you identify those things that make you unique. And it's not easy to do this. It's same for your business. Like the way I run Dev Group as a company, there are things that from next year we're going to tilt it to another level. Because we need to consistently be unique and then talk about them, talking about it like sharing, like share on website, social media platforms, CDs and whatever, videos, whatever you can do it. And most importantly, be part of meaningful conversations. Be part of meaningful conversations. It is critical. That's why I push you guys. Don't just read something on the WhatsApp group and write, okay, received. You don't have, there's no sense in that. Anybody can write, okay, received. You are coming writing, okay, received, with a master's degree in your pocket. What is okay, received? Are you not ashamed to write that? You need to say something. If you agree with the content, what do you agree with the content? Like what Ayabini does. If you look at the way he reacts to things in the group, that is how to drive meaningful conversations. And many of you started copying that, like the George and all of that. I observe. I'm seeing how people are changing. Until you start driving meaningful conversations, like what Elvis does and many other people, you're going to remain average. All you can do is receive. And so even just sit quiet. You don't write anything that makes sense. Except that we challenge that it's a class work. That's when you guys go now, you're doing, but you need to make it a routine. You don't have meaningful conversation only once in a while. You have it consistently. If you wake me up from bed, if BBC can wake me up from bed at 2 a.m., I will talk sense. Beat me on anything my expertise, I will talk sense and go back to sleep. Wake up and see talk sense. And that's what we're consulting. Clients just born from anywhere. Hey, Joybert, I have this challenge. Boom, you just need to get to work and start solving their problem. Don't tell them, wait, let me go and read the book and come and answer your question. Time no day for that continent. Let me talk in pidgin. You get the point, guys? So and business landscape is very fast. You just need to make sure that you're doing the right things and taking the right action. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, screenshot this or write it down. List 5 types of meaningful conversations you would love to be part of in your industry as a professional. This one is one of the, I'll be looking at this particular question for everybody. This is a trap. I'm going to give you examples. List 5 examples of meaningful conversations you would love to be part of in your industry as a professional. If you're somebody who follows me very carefully, you will notice that in 2020, I was writing a lot about the future of work in Africa. I was writing a lot about the organizations of the future. I was writing a lot about the effects of COVID-19 on governance and business. These are 3 areas of meaningful conversation. These are 3 topics. These are very broad topics. You can choose, okay, you know what? We're going to start writing on productivity in young people. Yeah, that's a type of meaningful conversation you can focus on. If that's your industry, you can start writing on women and finance. If you're a woman and you love women empowerment and you're focused on how can you help women to finance, that's a meaningful conversation topic. You can focus on women and technology. But it should be part of your industry. So I'm challenging all of you, write list 5 types of meaningful conversations you would love to be part of in your industry as a professional. If you list one of the things I'm going to example, I'll cancel it. I want to put you in a difficult corner. It's a broad marketplace. Knowledge is everywhere. Make good use of it. You are very intelligent. Tap into your intelligence and make it work. Number 5, make new friends. Favorite one. Make new friends. Make new friends. Guys, if you follow this course very critical and take action, your career will never remain the same. Make new friends, not just any kind of a year friends, tangible, relevant friends. Make friends, make millionaire and multi-millionaire friends like Ernest, like Henry, like Lori, like Hassan. These are people who have heavy bank accounts, like Tala, like Aya Bini, international people. Right? All right. Do you know someone, do you know some people who always seem to know someone everywhere they go? Right? I'm sure some of you are here like that. Like anywhere they enter, everybody knows them kind of thing. These types of people are those people who have mastered the art of building rapport and making friends. As a business personality, as a business executive, building a top-notch personal brand can help you connect with others on a more intimate level. This is important because when people know and like you, they are more likely to trust you and do business with you. In other words, you need to build people management skills. You need to know how to be proactive in building the right relationship with other people. Like, for example, there are some of you in this group that you have not even built new friends within the community that you are in. But there are some of you that you have sat and you have inboxed people, you have established relationships, you have connected with them. Maybe some of you are even thinking of doing business together already. Meanwhile, you meet only in a mini MBA class. That is good. That is good. Take advantage of that. Having the right people around you that can endorse you, that can talk about you, is part of building a top-notch brand. Like anytime, like I have this funny experience I've always shared. Like when I share somebody's post on social media, especially on Facebook or on LinkedIn, they always come and tell me about that. Like even somebody sent me today, oh, thank you for sharing my post. I had so many friend requests today from amazing people. Yeah, that is it. And that's why, trust me, I don't share any kind of thing on my page. I don't, like people always inbox every day, please share my post, share my post. Like they will send a flyer, send stuff. I'll just say, I have seen. I will not, if I don't trust your brand, I will not share. Let you go up and come down, that's your problem. Because I know that when I share you, it means I'm endorsing you. That's it. It's the same like putting you on my WhatsApp status. I got my WhatsApp status jealous. I don't just put, I can stay for 6 months. I don't put any external thing apart if they're not my thing. That's intentional. But they put you there, it means, I mean, I have numbers of top people and they see the status. They say, oh, who is this? Let me go check the person out. Then what if I put you and you're missing out? You get a point? So having the right people around you is critical in building your brand. And you must be intentional at making new friends. Invest, like take them out for lunch if you can. Buy them a gift if you can. Connect with them, volunteer for them. Do whatever is relevant that can show that you're a person of value. Number 5, branding open doors of opportunities. When you are intentional about building a top-notch personal brand, the opportunities it brings your way are endless. You can receive invitations, requests to speak, conduct training, even get awarded contracts just from building or having the right brand. Like, not even to go far. Yesterday, somebody contacted me on WhatsApp from one of the government offices in Dubai that we heard that you're a Cameroonian young person, that you're influential, and you're coming to Dubai, you're coming to the UAE. Which country are you going to go to in the Middle East? We want to work with you, blah, blah, blah. Right? That's it. Like, I'm still even to go to Dubai, my skill already full with speaking engagements of going through. Oh, we heard that you're coming. We saw that somebody said that, so you're coming, blah, blah, blah. That is it. It opened doors to opportunities. So you need to intentionally invest in that. That's why like in the last 4 or 5 years, there's no country I've gone in just for one program and I ended with one program. No way. TV's already lined up, radio stations and even other events line up for me to speak on and do interviews, right? Because the brand goes ahead. The brand goes ahead. And let me tell you one thing about personal brand. Win in your locality first. As I always say, one of the best things that happened to me, if you're somebody that follow my story carefully, one of the best things that happened to me was that I won locally first. I started in Kumbu. I saturated Kumbu well with events. Then I moved to Bamenda, the same thing. From Bamenda, I located to Boya. I did 2 years in Boya, and in less than 8 months, I was friends with almost any important people in organized event with the ecosystem. And I've spoken in all events, I organized my own events and so on. From there, I moved to Yaoundé. I stayed in Yaoundé for 1 year, 6 months and so. Then I moved to Douala. I've conquered Cameroon already. So it's easier for the brand to speak. Then I've spoken in 14 African countries. And when it comes to virtual events, like almost 20-something African countries spoken in virtual events. And virtual events are large events, so there's 700 people online they're speaking to, right? When you conquer locally, it's more important. The challenge that many young people have now in trying to build sustainable brands is that they want to build brands on Facebook before they're struggling to bring it offline. Build offline first, then bring it online. That will last. Maybe I think I have an advantage that when I started all this in 2011 and 12, Facebook and social and WhatsApp was not rampant like this. It was a blessing for me instead. Although being rampant rather is a blessing with those arising, but it's also a cheat sheet. It's a shortcut, which is not good for their career. They're not trying to do it right. So make sure that you get this right because branding will open doors for you. Number 6, a good brand builds confidence. A good brand breeds what? Confidence. When you embrace the idea of building a top-notch personal brand, which I believe all of us are going to do from today, and are doing all you can, I'm going to teach you secrets to do that. I've been revealing them already to you. I hope you are taking down notes. Doing all you can to build and grow your level of confidence shut up as well. It helps you to see yourself as someone who is what? Who is limitless and unstoppable. Yes. When you know that you have a good brand, it makes you feel limitless and unstoppable, right? Like, for example, trust me, I remember the first I was supposed to speak in the US in an event in Dallas, Texas. Oh boy, that was my first time to speak in America. Jeez, white people everywhere, blah, 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 all of that. Yeah, I had the cut. My heart was cut, and I will not lie. My heart was shaking. All these white people, would they understand with my Banso tongue? Right? And all of that. But But then my confidence was there. I was like, look at the things I've done, the way I've spoken. I said, no, abandon man, you can do this and all of that. You have a good brand that they got here because they think that you're good and all of that. I was trying to speak to myself, blah, 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 and all of that, right? The top-notch personal brand proves that confidence and gives you the room to believe in yourself. Okay? Good. So that's why it's important. So those are 6 reasons why you need a personal brand. Now let's look at what I call the 9 commandments of building a profitable brand. Don't forget these commandments. Add it to your Bible. I always tell people, after you read your Bible in the morning, go and read my website. That's the second Bible you should be reading. All right. 9 commandments. 9 commandments of building a profitable brand. Is it going? Are you getting value?
Yes, sir. A lot of value. Thank you.
Good,
A lot, sir.
excellent.
A lot of value, a lot of value.
Keep
Good.
it coming.
Getting value.
All right, let's proceed. Let's proceed then. Let's proceed. 9 commandments of building a profitable brand. What should you do from today? Don't joke with this commandment. Keep them all. Number 1 commandment, thou shalt identify your top 20 customers and focus more on their needs. The truth is that every brand serves a group of people. You cannot say have a brand when you're not serving somebody. A teacher can have a brand for in the midst of students and parents, and even their colleagues, and even the general education community. But let me tell you, every brand has 20%. Have you heard of the saying that 20% of your work will yield 80% of your results? The same thing applies to every aspect of your business. If you study your sales trend, it is most likely you will observe that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. That is it. You get a point. Like for example, instead of doing how do I say this? Like for example, I can decide that if I have just 5 companies that I'm consulting with, and these companies have capital of 500 million and above, that could be 20% of the remarket that I have, for example, and that's that's something heavy. So I can decide, you know what, focus just on this. Like I shared with you guys one time, I don't know if this class, but for those who, if you notice, in from 2018, I started reducing how I speak in general conferences. Trust me, between 2017 and 16 and all of that, in this country alone, I used to speak in 250 events a year. I used to be everywhere. And there was a season for that to build. That was what built my national brand per se, which is good. But like from 2018 and 19, especially 2020 and this year, I reduced drastically. I'm not speaking anywhere anyhow. That's intentional. I know what I'm doing. That's why there are some popular events that people have seen and they're like, hey, we thought that you'd be a speaker here. Do you have a problem with the organizer? I'll just tell them, no, I don't have any problem. I'm the one who refused I cannot be available. Because I'm focusing on something. I've chosen my 20% and I know what I'm doing. So in building a personal brand, one of the most important things to do is, who are the 20%, who are the top 20% people that you are serving in that particular sector, and give them the best service. What happens is that they're gonna spread. They're gonna spread. Like for example, in consulting, I do consulting with one client, a huge corporate. Maybe let's say they pay me 2 million, 3 million for that consulting for a week. And then he goes and recommend me to his fellow person, to his fellow company owner also, who owns maybe a bigger company than him. So, oh, this guy is going to work with him. Now, imagine me that I'm doing consulting with this person and then I'm traveling here, going to speak at some youth events up and down, up and down. I'm not going to focus on the right stuff. Right? Like there's a pharmaceutical company I'm consulting with. I'm not traveling mostly any kind. I refused many events last month and this month because of that company. I prefer to succeed in that company. It's a 500 million francs plus company. It's part of my 20% important top customers. So I prefer to invest and make sure I have a good result with them. I have good results with them. And the 20% can bring me 80% of my best results and revenue. If the consulting business is profitable, it's not because I'm everywhere, because I just have few people that are bringing me the highest revenue I've never seen in the last years. I hope you get the concept. And all of you, whether you run a business or you're a professional in whatever field, you have top 20% customers who are your high profile customers. You need to pay attention to them and give them excellent value. It's important. Having this information at the back of your mind should make you do everything. Look at that, to make you do everything you can to give your top 20 customers special attention. In doing this, you can come up with innovative ways to serve them while also keeping them engaged with your brand. List out 3 new innovative ways you will serve your customers. For this, especially for entrepreneurs. If you are doing anything that you are targeting people, please do the exercise. List out 3 new innovative ways you will serve your customers or clients, right? Good. Whether you're a non-profit or profit, you have target market. Target people you are targeted to serve. That's what I mean. Don't come and give me an excuse that I don't have customers. Okay. Number 2, commandment. Thou shalt routinely survey your customers on ways you can serve them better. Yes. Thou shalt routinely survey your customers on ways you can serve them better. Like for example, I was telling you guys, we have added this course, just this 3rd batch. We have added this course in this class. We didn't add it. The other classes did not do it. Why? Because we observe, we survey. We're trying to find a better way to create a better mini MBA program, the best mini MBA program so far in Africa. Tailored, specific, relevant knowledge. Go implement, go get to work, no stress attached, no unnecessary studies, right? Your customers decided to patronize you for specific reasons. But if you would like to build a profitable brand, never assume that those reasons are static. Yes, because customers' buying behavior can change. There are reasons for coming to buy from you or use your services can change. So you need to consistently make sure that you're getting better. Consumers' needs evolve daily, and it is your responsibility as a business executive to routinely survey your customers so you can determine if you are truly serving them the way they want to be served. That is your job to do that. Because if you don't do that, you will struggle in being sustainable as far as your business is concerned. The failure to do this might lead to waking up one day to find out that you lost your most valuable customers to your competitors. Yes, it's possible. You can wake up one day and say, why is this guy not buying from me? Oh, you are no longer fulfilling their needs in the right direction. So they went to the person that is doing it better than you. They lost it. The perception they had about you died, and that the brand died in their mind. So what action will you take to grow your personal brand as a result of lessons from this point? Good. Thou shalt be consistent in the delivery of your products and services, no matter how big you become. Thou shalt be consistent in the delivery of your products and services, no matter how big you become. Why am I saying this? There are some businesses that when they grow too big, they stop paying attention to customer service. They stop paying attention to customer experience. They just treat people anyhow. But when they started small, they were hypocrites. They were pretending to be very good in customer service and all of that. And that happened a lot in Cameroon. And that's why you see that you start with a good brand, and few months or few years after, the brand dies because they stopped doing what they were doing to establish their brand. Never stop doing what you did to establish a brand. Keep on doing it. Like in career and business, it is easier to start and get to the top, but staying at the top is a challenge. And one of the best ways to stay at the top is continue doing what you are doing from the beginning that got you to the top. So the success of every business lies in how consistent you are. You must be consistent in the delivery of your products, no matter how big you become. Customers want to feel special and treated with dignity and respect. If you scale up or grow bigger than you used to, hire more hands so you can continue the tradition of excellence upon which your brand was built. Did you hear that? So that you can continue with the tradition of excellence upon which the brand was built. Activity, what action will you take to grow your personal brand as a result of the lessons from this particular point? When I say this point, I mean this point 3. What action will you take to grow your personal brand as a result of the lessons from point 3? Number 4, thou shalt maintain an active presence on social media. Of course, you have been hearing me mentioning social media earlier on, right? There is no way you can talk about branding in this dispensation, in this age, in this time, in 2021, 2022, without talking about social media. Social media has revolutionized the way business is being done in the 21st century. Consumers will choose not to buy from you if your brand does not have an active social media presence. Yes, they can consider you a scam, you are not legit, because we are in a tech-driven generation where they trust the internet a lot. This means that if you own social media accounts for your business, but you are inactive, yes, there are some people that have social media accounts and they post them once a week or once a month. I'm sure there are people here in this class like that. You have a social media page for your business, but you post there, even your personal page. Maybe the last time that you shared something was 2020. In your mind, you're matured. You're claiming to be matured. Abi, branding is about consistently showing up where people who desire to consume your services can find you. Okay? When you are not consistent, you stand the risk of losing your customers to competitors because you are not showing up. You are not defending, you are not active, you are not where they can trust you. When you lose your customers, there is no way you can build a profitable brand. What action will you take to grow your personal brand as a result of social media? Number 5, thou shalt be innovative. Innovation is the key to elevation in business. To build a profitable brand in the 21st century, you must be innovative. Look for ways to help you stand out. Find ways to stand out. Like I always challenge, like in Consider, for example, what I always do is that I always make sure that every new year we launch something new. It could be something under Consider Finance, under BMD Africa, under my personal brand, whatever. But we make sure I have this challenge to myself. Every new year, do something new. It could be internal, it could be something that will go loud on social media, in public, whatever, but make sure that it should be a tradition. That is why Apple keep launching, announcing phones every year. iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, iPhone 8, iPhone 10. It's consistent. Same for Samsung and all of these guys. Same for Windows, same for Tesla, same for MTN. They do all of that. That's one of the best ways to maintain a good brand. Like if you're a professional, you're a worker, this can be for you like studying. You can earn new certifications. Like you get an mini MBA certificate from a university in America can increase your brand among your colleagues, can increase your brand in your organization where you work. If you are innovative, even in a saturated market, you will get noticed. What actions will you take to be innovative to grow your personal brand as a result of the lessons on this course? What will you do today to be innovative in your business? Just think about innovation. It could be long-term innovation. It could be short-term innovation. Look at even your personal career. What are you going to do to be different in your sector, in your job, your organization, or as far as your peers are concerned or your age group is concerned? Thou shalt strategically build your client's base. There's something in business called loyal fans. Loyal fans. If you want to have a strong brand, you need to build a client base that can stand for you, that can defend you. Yes, it is good to do everything you can to retain your top customers, but you should rely totally on your top customers. Not rely on your top customers will prevent catastrophic consequences should such customers decide to do business elsewhere. The better approach is to strategically build a client base by looking for ways to attract new customers while also making current and older customers happy. What does that mean? Never depend on old customers only. Don't only rely on old customers, but make sure that you have a strategy in place where you are consistently building in new people who know the business every day. Let new people come into the business. Let new clients come into the business. Let new clients buy your product. Have what you can. We had a session on client acquisition. That's why client acquisition strategy is one of the most important strategies in business. Without client acquisition strategy being activated, you will depend only on old customers. And if something happens that they lose trust in your brand, they're going to move away and your business will suffer. Okay, so what are you going to do when it comes to building your client base? What's the plan? Like this way, like building social media following. I'm having followers on Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever that you can do, but intentionally create a strategy whereby you can build potential customers, you can build regular customers, keep them there, manage them, email lists, whatever that you can do, just build that database of people that consume whatever that you're selling. Number 7 is thou shalt monitor sales and profits. Strictly a lot for business people. Yes, because a good brand should enhance your sales and profits. One of the mistakes that lots of entrepreneurs make, executives make, is the failure to pay close attention to sales and profit. High sales do not automatically translate into profit. It is possible to be making 1 million francs in sales daily and you're still running at a loss. But the main aim of this point is that if your brand is really good and you're monetizing it well, it should bring you sales and profitability, weekly, daily, monthly, whatever that you have. You get a point? Because a good brand should be able to put food on your table. That's a fact. A good brand should be able to positively affect your balance sheet or your income and expenditure statement. It is critical for that. So monitor, how is my brand growing? How are my finances changing because my brand is growing? What can I do to make sure that I have better finances by working on my personal brand? What action will you take to grow your personal brand as a result of this? Number 8, thou shalt consistently upgrade your skills. This is very critical in building a personal brand. Because even if you, like for example, there are many guys on social media that are very popular and have good brand just because they are creating TikTok videos. Just being able to act is a skill. Being able to create the video is a skill. Being able to create the content is a skill. So if you want to stand out at anything with a good brand, check your skills. Every brand needs certain core skills for that brand to be sustainable. Now, you have to consistently upgrade your skills and acquire new skills. If you acquired a skill 10 years ago, it might be the time to sign up for your refresher training. Maybe that's why you'd like, for example, taking the mini MBA program. You're upgrading your skills. Some of you are acquiring new skills. Some of you, this is your first time to go through a business training program. Skills become obsolete by the second due to the unprecedented advance in technology. The skill you are used to doing manually might have been fully automated. So in order to keep up with your industry trends and remain relevant, that's your brand, remain relevant, you must continually upgrade your skills. It is very critical. Okay. Why is somebody saying they're not seeing point 8? Is anybody seeing point 8 on my screen?
I can see point.
Sorry?
I can see it, sir.
Yeah, point 8 is showing clearly.
Okay, it could be a network. It could be the reception of your internet is slow. So you're getting my voice, you're getting the audio live, but the display is coming a few seconds or even a minute late. Yeah, that could be the points. Keep managing. Okay, let's continue. Please mute your mic. Okay, list 5 skills you need to upgrade and learn. List 5 skills you need to upgrade and learn. Very critical in your brand, especially for those who are in the service sector. Make sure that you of building. Thou shalt study market trends. You cannot say that you're building a personal brand in that needs to affect an industry where you don't know the latest things happening in that industry, technology, training and consulting, agriculture, marketing, whatever industry you have chosen, fashion, design, all of that, international business, whatever you have chosen to do, you need to make sure that you're studying the market trends. It's important if you really want to build a personal brand. This is because when you study market trends, you can foresee the nearest future, and you can also plug yourself into a trend and use it to establish your brand. Like the case where Angela was being referred to a Nigerian film, it's because that film was trending at that time. Maybe right now, nobody is calling her that name, except her classmates from those days can call her that name now. You get the point? Same for Aya Abini. It's because Arafat was shining at that time, and he plugged himself into that trend, and he was able to build that particular brand from it at that particular time. And you can use it also to be ahead of the industry. Foreseeing the nearest future helps you to prepare for changes, and also it helps you to stay ahead of the curve. And when you're ahead of the curve in your industry, it makes others to look for you. Like I always like to say, find where your industry is going to, get there first, and teach others how to get there, make money, and build a name. I love to do that. Anticipate, because very, very few people spend the time and invest the time to do that. So one of the best ways that you can build a good brand in your industry is study the market trends. Find where your industry is going to. Study ahead and get there first. Explore and get there first. Then teach others how to get there, make money out of it, and establish yourself as a principality in that sector. This is an essential part of building a profitable brand. So those are the 9 commandments. What action will you take to grow a personal brand as a result of this brand? Good. Number 10. This is a bonus, I guess. Thou shalt determine what you want to be known for. Thou shalt determine what you want to be known for. Like I always like to advise young people and advise people. I always say that one of the best gifts that you can give yourself on your 25th birthday. But I'm not saying this static, this is my personal opinion, based on my personal analysis. But I always say that one of the best gifts that you can give yourself at your 25th birthday is for you to choose or decide what you will dedicate the rest of your life to do. Sometimes people minimize, like, I have been doing it for 10 years. How I was lucky because I discovered what I want to do at a very early age. And I ventured into this in 2011. That, okay, you know what? I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You get a point? But I'm not saying that if you are past 25, you should keep yourself. No, even at the age of 40, 30, whatever, you can decide and make sure that really me like this as a professional. What we want to be known for. You have to choose an industry. You have to choose a sector. You have to choose critical things that you want to focus on for the rest of your life. Because your personal brand is more than a reflection of who you are today. It is a roadmap of where you are going to. Yeah. It's a roadmap of where you're going to, because you are building credibility and thought leadership towards a direction. Towards a direction. So forecasting where you want to be in 5 or 10 years and the attributes you want to be known for can help you build a better brand, an incredible brand. So where do you want to be in your career or in your sector in the next 5 to 10 years? What are the attributes that you want to be known for? What are the adjectives that you want to be described as far as you're concerned, as far as your personality is concerned? That is what will be your personal brand. And that's where the warning that came in, personal brand takes time and consistency. Because these things that we're saying will take you time and consistency for you to build. Okay, activity. 10 years from now, what do you want to be known for? 10 years from now, what do you want to be known for? That's 2030. Let's say, what do you want to be known for? So let's get to the crux of the matter now. We have laid a very strong foundation. We have spoken a lot about some deep things. But now let us get to the practical. We have seen the commandments, which are important. Some are going to repeat, but in a more advanced way here. But now this is the how now. This is the how. Like these are things that I think that anybody here, you hear them, go get to work. Start implementing them. There are some that are already written that you have to implement. That is good. Go implement this. Let's get to practical stuff. These strategic steps you can take to build a top-notch personal brand and not in any other, right? Study and start implementing the ones that resonate with you, because there are some that you will notice that you have been doing already and maybe you are not conscious about it. Start being conscious about it. There are some that you have been neglecting, take them serious, and there are some that may be new, inculcate them. But the point is, guys, building a strong personal brand takes hard work. Just like one of the things that you guys know that I do to build a personal brand, like the writings I do every morning and in the evenings, all of them I share, creating content is not easy. Talk to somebody who writes. Don't talk of me, my content is what? Always 250 words and above, consistently for 10 years. That's hard work to do. Like somebody else tell me, how do you think of what to write? Like really, you know, the information doesn't get finished. Because you need to make sure that the content is good, is well structured, it can strike it. Somebody can read and feel like they're reading from a professional. They can read and enjoy it. They can read and take action. They can read and become better in what you do. Okay? So the ones that speak to you will determine the phase of your life right now. Number one strategy to building a personal brand: ask for informational interviews. This works better for people that have done some work in their sector, whatever they desire. Identify industry leaders you admire in your industry. Consider reaching out to these professionals to ask for informational interview. Don't be afraid to ask anyone you're interested in learning more from. You'll be surprised of how genuine and generous the people are. So what does that mean? You can decide and look for somebody who is successful in your sector. Let's say like I'm planning to do this with Bonnie Dashako. Although I'm connected with Bonnie Dashako and I have his contact and he knows me personally, but I've never done this with him. But he has really sponsored one of my events one time. But he's really somebody that really respects in business, and I really want to go sit with him and just interview him and know what he does. Now, when you do that, you can come share some excerpts about it, tag him, mention him, and he may take pictures with you, share on his platform. That's how your brand is building. You can even ask after that, please, can you share the excerpts when I share them on your platform? Can we take a picture and share the picture together? You need to be intentional about this. That's why it's called informational interviews. You are trying to plug yourself into the life of a thought leader, to the life of an influential person, so that they know you and they establish you in their minds, in their lives, and they can also leverage on their platform on social media and build a better connection or brand for yourself. That's why it's called informational interviews. Now, when you meet with these individuals, ask questions that can help you garner new insights about your desired field, such as how did you break into the industry, right? Because we are talking about personal brand. So personal branding is for an industry. You cannot just be empty-handed, nothing to show for, no dreams. I want to be the personal brand. No, you have to decide I want to win an industry. So it's about asking the right questions. You can ask them questions like, how did you break into the industry, right? What steps would you take if you were to make the transition all over again? I can ask them, okay, you were to leave from being an employee to starting your business. What steps would you take today? What will you do again? How do you see the industry evolving? How do you stay up to date with industry trends? Are there any professional or trade associations I should join? Can you recommend me to join any association, any community, any ecosystem. That is you carrying out informational interview. And as I said, sometimes you can ask for permission, record it, ask for permission, do a video, or at the end do a write-up and share on social media. That will enable you to build your brand. Imagine you sharing that you interviewed the Prime Minister of Cameroon, or interviewed the President of Cameroon, or interviewed the CEO of MTN Cameroon, or you interviewed Dangote. It stretches your brand automatically, as long as it's genuine and authentic. Because good brands are genuine and authentic. You don't lie and you survive. Activity, screenshot this. List 5 people, list 5 top people in your industry you will reach out to and ask for informational interviews. State the date, the time, and the place where you will meet them. Yes, be that proactive. I know that some of them, you may pray, okay, want to meet a restaurant, and they invite them to they invite you to their house or their office, but state where you would like to meet them. It could be their office, still, it could still be wherever. But it should be very practical with a clear action plan. Okay, good. I hope you have that written or screenshot that. Okay. Number 2, prepare an elevator pitch. This is very critical in building a personal brand because you're always meeting people. Spend some time to craft an elevator pitch. It could be a 30 seconds to 60 second story about who you are, what you do, or about why you do what you do. Whether you're attending a networking event or an informal party, having an elevator pitch prepared makes it easier to describe succinctly what you do and where you are going to in your career and business. This is very critical. This is that one thing that when you talk to somebody, they feel that, no, I met somebody. The way this gentleman presented himself, the way this gentleman talked about what they do, you felt different. They're going to respect you. Okay? Keep your elevator pitch brief by focusing on a few key points you want to emphasize. And the elevator pitch depends on where you're going. The kind of elevator pitch you can give in an investment forum is not the same you can give in a general conference. It's not the same you can give when you visit the minister in a country. You get a point? It's not the same, like, for example, when I'm meeting government officials, could be in Cameroon or wherever, the pitch I give them has nothing to do about many things. But if I'm in an entrepreneurial setting, the pitch I give is different. So you need an elevator pitch that you can use to engage people in a mature and professional manner that will leave a lasting perception, a lasting good brand about you to them. Activity, write this down. Create 2 elevator pitches. One that you can use in a networking event and one you can use in a bus while traveling. I have an elevator pitch I use when I'm flying, right? And it always involves what I want to do in that country and what I love about that country and what I'm excited, why I'm excited to go to that country. Because people love to talk about traveling and things that inspire them. Okay? So in your assignment you're submitting, create 2 elevator pitches, one that you can use in a networking event. Let's say that we're having mini MBA graduation. What kind of pitch are you going to use? Write that pitch down, personalize it. Let's say you're traveling to, you're using Phoenix VIP bus, or you're flying. You can even replace the bus with a plane, with a flight. Challenge yourself, upgrade yourself if you want to do that. That's free. You're flying to Lagos, you're flying to Istanbul, whatever they are going to Paris, and you meet somebody on the plane. What are you going to do? What kind of pitch are you going to present? It's very critical. Number 3, embrace networking. You will not survive to build a personal brand when you are not intentional at networking. Because your personal brand is greatly affected by your circle. The kind of professional people that you have in your circle is critical as far as your brand is concerned. So it is your job to connect with peers and industry thought leaders by going to formal and informal events. Go to seminars and conferences and summits and so on. The more connections you make, the more value you can provide in your interactions, the more likely it is your personal brand will be recognized. As I always say, no matter how good you are, if nobody knows you, you will die a poor person. So the more you connect with thought leaders, the more you connect with industry influencers, the more you interact with them, the more you talk with them, the more you communicate the value that you have to offer, that is how you are building your brand. That is how you are establishing a positive, strong, valuable, credible perception in their mind, which leads to a good brand for you. Very critical. Activity. List 12 professional events you attend this year. This year means you are targeting 2022. 2022. List 12 professional events you will attend this year. Like I always see, every industry have annual events that happen yearly that you need to know as an industry. Like for example, I know top events that happen in my industry, like in New York, like that happen in London, that happen in, let's say, Lagos, happen in Johannesburg, happen in Dubai. I know all of these top events that are standard, that happen yearly, that like in their 15, 20th edition, 20 years, and moving on. You need to know that, and you can have a plan to attend. Like in Cameroon, the events that happen yearly. Like for example, I've been doing a date with success every year for what, 5 years, 6 years today. This year I'm not organizing because the plan is doing it in Dubai and so on. You can say, okay, you know what? Date with success every year in Cameroon, I'm going to attend. I'm going to do a date with success because people already asking, those going to go in Dubai. So I'm still going to do a date with success in January or February, or I do it in December, right? And then like Go Mad. Go Mad is an annual event that happens. Okay, you know what? I'm going to attend Go Mad. It happens every February. 500 to 1,000 people come to attend. I'm going to learn a lot. Fine, you can do that. Which other events happen annually in Cameroon? You look for those events, industry events that you can attend and be part of it. It's important in building your brand as a person. Okay? Okay. Number 4, ask for recommendations. This is very critical. This is very critical. Especially on LinkedIn, especially with your former employer, especially with somebody that is influential. You can ask them to just write a recommendation letter, and you keep it and always use it in your documents. Having current and former colleagues and managers endorse you is one of the easiest and most effective ways to define your personal brand, allowing others to communicate your value for you. Just as a business might cultivate customer reviews and testimonials we use in sales and marketing collateral, you too should cultivate your own reviews in the form of what? Recommendations. This is very important. See, reviews and recommendations are critical in establishing your brand. They are critical, very critical. That's why, like on my website, you can go on that testimonials, you can see what clients have written about me, and it's there, it's intentional, because it leads to a very strong brand. It leads to a very strong brand. Okay, let me show you something. That's what I'm trying to show you. So like you see this, this is my website. And guys are supposed to work on the website. Yeah, right. Okay. So you come here, you see reviews, right? Why will I put a separate tab just for reviews? Anytime that I want to get attention, I just take on the reviews and I share. It's important. It's part of it because when people love when other people talk about how they have enjoyed you, you see? So it's very critical for you to make sure that you find ways that you can get people to endorse you. Like LinkedIn has that, where people can endorse your skills, people can write recommendations for you. They're critical. Like if you look at this, what others say about me, to correct that others. So you see all of these are reviews from previous clients, reviews from those who have attended trainings and all of that. And this has helped me a lot. When a stranger, like white people or whoever, when they visit my site and they come and reviews there, when they take time and read that, like, oh, wow, good. That's why you make sure you put a name, you make sure that you put what they do and all of that, so that it's a name that somebody can search on social media and make sure that it's because people lie. People lie in, how do I say, people lie in their reviews. They go and frame names and create useless names and they write and all of that. So it's critical for you to do that. Like, for example, you can openly ask someone to write a recommendation that they can consistently use, that can get an influential person. You can get, anybody that is influential, they can write, they can write a recommendation letter on their letterhead and sign with their name, and you can keep it and always, you can start and keep it and use it very often. Like after 3 years, you can renew it so it doesn't look too old. You get a point? You can do that. Like I've had that a lot of people like, okay, just write, of course, and you only write recommendation letters that you know you have worked with and you trust, because that is you endorsing them. That is you trusting them. You get a point? Good. Through your online presence, we spoke about this already. One of the most important aspects of personal branding is making sure your online presence is engaging. So it's important that you choose a social media platform and make sure that you're highly engaging on it. I always recommend make sure you're active on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and focus on these four. If you are good, you can add YouTube. YouTube is that. It's a social media platform. Even if you are good with WhatsApp, you're in various WhatsApp groups, you can add to that and use. While your story should match across all platforms, once you know where your targeted audience is most likely to turn, you can redouble your efforts in telling your best story there. Like, what does that mean? There are people that have more followers on YouTube than even on Facebook. So you can dedicate your energy more on where you have more followers. There are people that have more followers on Twitter than on Facebook. There are people that have followers on Facebook than on Twitter. So you need to know, where do you have more engagement? Where do you have more support and followers? And you can invest in that particular area to make sure that you can do. But the point is that there is no way that you will win in this battle of building a personal brand in this age without the right digital footprint. Without the right digital footprint. Invest time to create the right content on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or even running a blog or running a website where you create content. Like my website has more than 700 articles that I've written there, the ones that are still available, right? So when people get there, they read, they see a lot of value. That's how your perception about them is growing. So reach out and create reputable connections with positive influencers in the sector and exchange perspective. They can reach out. There are some guys I'm planning that when I met them, I'm going to be a video where they can share on their page and let me share on my page. That's a way of building a brand too. That's strategic alliances. You see somebody who has 12,000 followers on Facebook or 20,000 followers, you have 10,000 followers, other followers. You guys do a video talking to each other, interview. While they share on their platform, you share on your platform. That is how you exchange. That leads to a lot of powerful brand. Create a public profile on social media. The moment you decide you want to build a personal brand is the moment you become an open book for all to read. Yeah. This may be a hard pill to swallow for some, but if you truly want to build a top-notch personal brand, your profile should be made public, that people can quickly see you, find you, and connect with you. Now, making your profile public doesn't mean you should give up on your privacy. Instead, you should decide on what you want to share and what you would rather have private. But you need to make sure that you're visible. Let people quickly see you and notice you as far as that is concerned. Number 6, remember that your personal brand isn't just online. Yes, your brand is more than just an online persona. It is how you carry yourself at home, in the office, in the community, even on your daily activities. That is your personal brand. Your personal brand is what you say on the radio when you get on radio, what you say on TV when you get on TV, what you write on newspapers, what you do in your community on the street, your personal brand. The more opportunities you have to work with others, volunteer for projects, accept yourself as a leader, take them, that's part of your brand. You understand? but make sure that you're very active offline. Make sure you're very active offline. You're very relevant online. You're creating the right value offline. You're having the right personality offline. You're having the right, taking the right actions offline. You're making the right influence offline. And then you can decide and move that online by taking pictures, sharing your story, writing what happened, and so on. What actions will you take today to build your strong brand offline? What actions will you take today to build your strong brand offline? What will you do? Number 7, decide on topics you would like to become a go-to person for. This is very critical. Decide on topics, decide on things you would like to become a go-to person for. Check those who have great personal brands. They are not everywhere. They are recognized and celebrated as experts and thought leaders on particular area, in particular topics, on particular things. We, as humans, we have the extraordinary ability to do and become many things at a time. However, when it comes to building a top-notch personal brand, the better approach is to choose topics of what you would like to be a go-to person for. Don't be everywhere. People who are everywhere end up not standing for anything, and they have very weak brands. But you need to choose, this is what I want to be known for. When it comes to branding, industry brand, and personal brand, when my name is mentioned, this is the kind of perception I want people to have. The way it becomes, that way it becomes easier to position yourself as an authority in that field, gain relevance, attract high quality people who will appreciate and love the content you share. Like today, a journalist reached out to me from I don't call it Dash Media TV. They're in Bonaparte. Reached out to me and they're like, "Oh, what we're doing I don't call it a show on this and that, and somebody referred you to us that you are the expert that can talk on this particular topic." That is it. And I've had many training contracts on certain key things in business and corporate dominance and so on, because I have built my persona around these kind of things for a while. And it makes people, like I've had a particular US embassy recommend my services because they know, okay, Joybert writes about this. This is what he talks about. This is what he has written books about. This is what he talks about on videos and all of that. And they have known me over the years for that. The one reason why we noticed, like in the last 3 years or so, there's no US embassy entrepreneurship events that I'm not there. It's because they follow too. And that's one thing about personal. You never know who is following you, guys. You never know who is tracking you. They just get around and recommend you. Oh, go do this. Go do that. Like the last time I was 2 weeks ago, I was at University of Yaoundé 2 in Swa, where we were leading a 4 days contract training for PhD students and master students on entrepreneurship, product design, and all of that. Somebody recommended, oh, you need somebody, that thing was sponsored by the African Union. You need an expert in Cameroon, that is the guy you should get. This is the guy you should get. You see? But what if I was everywhere? Women empowerment, I'm there. Youth empowerment, I'm there. All this, I'm there. I am everywhere, writing about everything. Politics, I'm there. This, I am there. It makes people not to know, what can this one do? If you're a professional and people still don't know what you can do, you have a lot of work to do as far as your branding is concerned. The approach of trying to be all things to all people in all places at all times can be likened to trying to fill a leaking bucket with water. It will never be full. Did you see that? The approach of trying to be all things to all people in all places at all times can be likened to trying to fill a leaking bucket with water, trying to fill those kind of buckets that they make with wood, or they make with what? Eucalypt, no, not eucalypt, palm tree. Palm tree. Yeah, it will never be full. What are we passing under? Just the passing cannot stand. List out your top 3 topics or sectors you desire to be an authority in. I always recommend maximum 4. If you have 5 and you are excellent at all, then I celebrate you for that grace. Even me, I cannot do 5. And those who have made it big in their sectors, 3, 2, maximum, even 1, and they are good to go. They're not everywhere. Create your brand identity. Number 8 on how to build a personal brand, create your brand identity. Brand identity is unique, but the visible elements that people can use to identify a brand. Like, for example, if you have noticed, you will notice that my PowerPoints have the same colors. Have you noticed that? Anybody ever noticed that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, coach. Yes.
Yes, that's my brand. That's my brand identity.
Very unique.
And like there was something that happened. So I shared my PowerPoint to some people one time, and then one speaker, if I call the name of the guy, you will know it's Javnyuy. So the guy took my PowerPoint. When I removed my logo, if you notice, my logo is always on the top left of the PowerPoint, and then it's all of that. It's intentional. That's the identity. That's the brand identity. It has these few colors, black, white, and that's it. So the guy went remove my logo, remove my name from the PowerPoint, and presented the same content and the same color of the PowerPoint. Somebody just snapped from the hall and sent to me from Limbe. So look at somebody has stolen your PowerPoint. I'm like, how did you know? It's like, but these are your colors. I've noticed that these are your colors. All your PowerPoint presentations have these particular colors. You get the point? And I was surprised that people are noticing. People are noticing. It could be the same like with dressing. Like if you notice, I wear only black shirts. The day I wore a white shirt, I think my last outing, I wore a white shirt because the dressing code was that I should wear a white shirt and a black suit. I was supposed to buy that white shirt, right? The day I shared that picture, for the first time I saw you with a black shirt. I had so many comments with a white shirt, in my inbox. That is brand identity. It could go the same with suits. Like my suit returned around black and blue, intentional, and then black shirts. So you can also choose to do that because your brand needs to be likened to something. So this includes what? Your color, includes your logo. Like you look at my logo, is the same year in, year out, is a meaning. Look at your language, customer service style, promotional style, processes that people can easily use in recognizing your brand. That's what I'm talking about. So what is your own brand identity? What are you doing that people can quickly look like that and recognize, oh, this is what this person is good at. This represents this person. This person stands for this. Okay, good. If you want to gain recognition as a top-notch brand, then creating a brand identity is a non-negotiable step of the process. When we are starting out, do not settle for less. If you already started, you can press the pause button and ask yourself if you are truly on track. Like this for most of you. If you think that you have been everywhere as far as your brand identity is concerned, you can stop, hold on, make a decision, decide on some things that should represent who you are and what you stand for. It could also be a picture style. You know, I have a brand identity for my picture style. My pictures are not normal. They have some certain things that I do, and that's intentional, and people have noticed it. So another question you may also ask yourself is, does my current trajectory reflect the type of future I would love to create? This also goes to Facebook. How you post on Facebook, why you post on social media platforms is also your brand identity. Like people already know that I post long articles with a picture. They already know that. There's some people that know that, oh, this particular person posts short quotes. Everybody has their brand. People already know that, you know what, I do videos maximum 5 minutes. That who know that? Somebody was saying to me yesterday, I've not seen any of your videos that you do that are more than 5 minutes. Always 4 minutes something, all of that. And people notice. Okay, so it could be time for you to rebrand if need be. You can work on one visible element at a time. What does that mean? You can start with a logo and make sure that from today for the next 1 year or so, your logo appears on everything that you share. After that, you can start on your PowerPoint. I mentioned PowerPoint. You can start with your dressing. You can start. You can take year after year and build your brand identity. Like if you notice, like me for example, I changed my profile picture on all social media platforms on the 2nd of September every year. I don't change it. I change my profile picture once a year. Profile picture and cover picture. If you have noticed, if you have not noticed, notice that. Why? Because number one, and if you notice, I have the same picture on all social media handles. Have you noticed that? That's intentional. Because when you see and see, you get stuck in your head. You just get stuck in your head. You just stamp in your head like that for the whole year. You don't need to stress to recognize me because it's there. It's intentional. That's brand identity that I'm creating. And every year I have what I call my brand colors. This year is blue and black. That's why I look at the suit was blue and the shirt was black, the tie was black. Another year was yellow and black and all of that. I have colors each year. It's intentional. When you do that, people track those patterns and it enables your identity. Same for your business, same for your company. Like for us in Cosdev Group, it's green. Let me show you guys so you see practically what I'm talking about. This Cosdev Group website. So if you visit my personal website, you see it reflects the colors of emptiness. Okay, let me show you guys, and you see, like same for Cosdev Group, our colors are green is our primary color. Green is our primary color, and hold on. What's happening? All right, somebody copied my brand identity style. You need to come and sue seed for copying that. So I wanted to also show you so you see how you can build brand identity for your business. I've spoken about my personal brand to me as Joybert, and then I want you to see as a company. So if you look at this, our primary color is green. That's why you look at how the tech guys did this. They put all of this green here, this green bar, and all of that, green and white, very critical. See, all of this is structured like this. It's critical. If you look at the staff, you're going to see that we what's MTN messing up? Please. Okay, so if you ever see our website, you'll see that you see our staff, everybody have a green shirt and a black suit, let's say, because it's part of our brand identity. Because if you look at the logo, you're going to see that this is in black, part is in green. I wanted the full thing to come so that you see how the brand identity is going to represent itself. Because there's a way that it shows. I challenge the tech team to make sure that when you load the page, it comes on your face like that. Boom. It's intentional. But this guy is disgracing us. Okay, let's continue later. But you can also do that. Decide on your company colors. That's what they call company colors, and your company colors should reflect in your logos. And then maybe you can even see how your staff can represent the company colors and all of that. Actually, we're commanding for t-shirts for the other part of the people, and also emphasizing to the t-shirt guy, we need the t-shirt to be green. Right, whatever you're writing in white, but the t-shirt should be green. That is our brand identity. And you need to intentionally make sure that you represent that, because it's very important as you build your brand for your business and for thyself. What will you start doing today to develop a strong brand identity, personally and for your business? Send this exercise. What will you start doing today? to develop your brand. Number 9, build a one-pager website or a blog that tells your story. Yes, build a website, a one-pager website, or a blog that tells your story. You cannot build brand in this dispensation without really having a good platform where you can tell your story. And if you don't have money to build a website yet, you can use blogs, WordPress.com. You can create a free blog there, or you can use LinkedIn and create articles, publish articles instead of posts. You can use Medium. Medium is the same. You can use Medium, and you can use Medium, and you can create and post for free. Medium is like a blog, so your name is going to appear after the Medium, like medium.com/your name, and that can be a blog for you, right? Building a top-notch personal brand requires that you have a home or a gallery where people can easily connect with you. Yes, this is where a website or a blog comes in. With a website or a blog, not only are you setting up yourself for unlimited connections, you are also putting yourself on the path of unlimited possibilities. If you're a starter, all you need is a one-page blog site free that tells your story. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, let me try to, let me show you quickly. But it seems internet is not very good today. Okay. Let me show you my screen so you see what I'm talking about. For those who are in the PPA community, we have handled building brand leadership using the internet for 18 days. I've revealed to you guys secrets of the secrets as far as that is concerned. So LinkedIn, I want to show you LinkedIn, and I want to show you Medium. So this one, if you don't have a blog, you don't have a website, and you want to avoid posting just on Facebook, you need to make sure that you can use this. You can use, like, you come here on LinkedIn, when you come here on LinkedIn, instead of taking post, you come here. You come here, write article, you see? So you're going to write this under, you're going to write it, this is like a blog, this is like the blogging side of LinkedIn. You come and select this, that's in this account because I have other business account. So you do this, it's like you're writing on a website, like you're writing on a blog. That's what happens here. You see, put picture, you can edit it, all of that. You put the headline here, put the article here, and you come and take publish. That is it. The same like you publish on a blog. That is it. Then Medium is the same. This is my account on Medium. You see, you come and take here, but let me click here first. You see, this is my own page. This is my own Medium page. Medium/@Javnyuy Joybert. This is my way you can see all my articles. So you can use Medium to undo that. Medium is a social media. Terrible. It's the worst. Medium is a social media platform too that you can use. Like, see, we did the stuff. Young Africans fix your own inequality, right? So you see, these are my articles that are here on Medium that I've shared. You see, so it's critical that you can use Medium also. All you need to do is come here, you take write story. Take write story. Take write story, the same thing. You put the title, you put the body, you can add picture here. If I add picture, you can load the picture like that, as simple as they're gone. And then when you do all of that, you come and click publish. You need this to build a top-notch personal brand. And I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. Creating content that can fit on this site that people will read and respect you takes practice. But you need to start. You can start by writing and just sharing with your friends. Correct your errors just among your friends. You will not start by writing publicly like this. You can start, write, and share with your friends, then read and give you feedback, then read and correct you. When you upgrade your game, you can now become good. But you will not build a top-notch brand that can stand the test of time if people cannot find you somewhere and read your area of expertise. Like, for example, there are some consulting jobs that before they give you, they're gonna ask me, can you send us your last 3 recent articles that you have published? You need to send that. Very important. Okay, good. Because they need to hear. Some they never ask you. They go and search. They just go and Google search your name. They don't like. I mean, most people do that. They just come and tell me that. Oh, they just don't send me the articles. Like yes, what they do. Most businesses they come and put google.com. They come here. They want to hire you. They just come and put here. Google is going to remove your footprint, your digital footprint. They're going to open, read, see where you're featured and all of that, copy, and then open, read whatever you have posted, and then they come and say, oh, we read the content that you have shared, and we like this article a lot. Some are going to say that, but make sure that you are active with that. Okay, next. Okay, the content and images on your website and blog should tell a story, should cast your vision, and should lead the reader on a journey or the user. A website should be a priority because it validates you more than just staying on social media. Like, for example, when Facebook was shut down on WhatsApp, what happened? People like us will still be in business because people already know that we have a website. If you miss reading from me on Facebook, come and read on my website. You still get information. My website will still send emails to people to read what I write. You see, so having a website communicates to your audience that you are serious about what you're doing, and by inference, they take you more seriously. But I'm not saying that because website needs money to build, it needs money to maintain. You need to pay a yearly fee to do all of these things. But now I'm showing you the LinkedIn article side and the Medium side. You can start that. Even me, I started from there, started from a blog. I think my website was built in 2018. So it means that for over 7 years, I was using the blogs. I was using this kind of stuff to publish. You must not start with a website right now. Okay, because website also means that you are setting yourself out there. Okay, good. You need that. What actions are you taking immediately as a result of the lessons from this point? Number 10, lend your voice to conversation intelligence. Lend your voice to the conversation intelligence. Like what I challenge you guys to do on the group. Don't just come and write, okay, received, and only if I share intelligence. I share those information in the group intentionally. Because if you don't lend your voice, there are some people in this same WhatsApp group that don't even know you, don't know how intelligent you are. But there are some people that you know everybody. You know Aya Abine, you know George, you know Elvis, you know people that communicate in a group intelligently, you know them. And that's their brand already in your mind, whether you like it or not. If you like agreement, you don't agree. Some of you already have people stuck in your head because of how they comment in the group. Is that true? Those are accusers who confess. But there are some of you that nobody knows. Nobody knows that this is what you do. This is how you sound. This is how you communicate. This is the things that you say. You're just there. And that makes your brand empty and weak because you are not lending your voice to any intelligent conversation in your immediate community. That's why your personal brand cannot become top-notch overnight. It will take consistent effort on your part to build that perception. And you need to communicate. You need to communicate. Don't go and write other people's posts on Facebook. We move. Something huge. You're only commenting street language. Nothing that makes sense. That's what most people do. That's what average people do. So lend your voice on platform. Lend your voice on other people's platform. As you grow, always remember that communication is a two-way thing. Yeah, like when I share things on the group, that's one way. Until you read and comment, you have not learned your voice, and you are just you. Nobody read whatever you said. It's in your mind. So there's no brand that you're communicating. If you want people to talk to you, you must also be willing to talk to them as well. Spark conversations on your platform, invite people to contribute, and then be sure to lend your voice to conversations on other platforms as well. That way, you will position yourself as a top-notch personal brand and expert. Very critical for the journey. Activity. What action steps are you taking immediately as a result of the lessons on this point? How will you lend your voice from henceforth? How will you do that? Number one, you can write, okay, start commenting intelligently on the post of thought leaders that I follow. Start writing content on my blog. Start doing videos. Start doing that. Start doing this. Right? Write the thing that you will take to lend your voice. Keep building with or without awards and celebrations. Yes. Why? Why am I adding this? Sometimes people can feel frustrated because you think they are doing so much work, but nobody is celebrating you. Nobody's giving you awards, and you can feel like giving up because you think that you have become so, and that's sometimes most of you thinking, because only another person can validate how relevant you are in an industry. It's the same, like right now I have 27 awards and recognitions. Then all of that just came mostly between 2018 and now. So it means that 2011, 2017, nobody knew that I existed. But now 27 awards and recognitions from 3 continents, several countries in few years. But 7 years, nobody knew what I was doing per se. You get a point? So keep building. Whether somebody is celebrating you or not, keep doing what your brand needs. Keep doing what your future needs. Keep doing what your career needs. That is the most important thing. Keep showing up. As I always say, whether they like you or they don't like you, make sure one thing never happens. They should not ignore you. You get the point? They should not ignore you. Keep putting in the hard work. It's going to benefit you. Keep up, keep pressing. Of course, as you press, things are going to happen someday. Life is not going to go the way you want, but whatever happens, keep on putting the right hard work. Whether somebody is celebrating you or not, whether they're giving you awards or not, keep on pushing. You will experience the joy that comes with people appreciating what you do, and also you will experience the dejected feeling that's associated with no applause. What does that mean? When people celebrate you, appreciate it. When they don't, let it go. It's cool. Okay, so know your why, because your why is very important in building your brand. What is your why? What is your purpose? Okay, good. 12, always have good promotional materials. Always have good promotional materials. Always have good promotional materials. At all times, make sure you project reputable promotional materials like photos. Like, for example, as I always say, if than for you to post blur pictures that you have taken with Itel 102, I don't know which mask, but I tell you with the lowest version of Itel that doesn't look nice, don't post it. When you have a good picture, you post it. You get a point? Very important. Flyers, yes. Make sure you post good. If you look at my team, know that I don't joke with my flyers. If flyers are going out for events or whatever, make sure that they are good flyers. We need good flyers to be out. Don't just post any kind of thing. It contributes to your brand. Those are your branding tools. PowerPoint presentation, make sure it's good. Don't just project anything anyhow. Or any material that you're projecting in the public in your name. Make sure that it's well done. It looks good. It looks good. Invest in it if you can. Remove money and pay a good graphic designer to do it. Okay? It's very important. Go to a studio, take photo shots, like some of you, people like George and the rest. I've challenged many people and have gone to the photo and have taken good photos. It's important. You need those branding tools as you're doing as you're taking the right actions as far as branding is concerned. You're balancing it up with the right branding tools as far as your career is concerned. To conclude, now let me show you guys something. This suit that you guys are seeing here, this suit like this. This is my second ever suit I ever made. I dashed this suit to one of my brothers in church last 3 weeks. So This time I didn't know anything yet about. I didn't even know the soup was still good like this. After like it made this what 2014, 15? I think so. Like I worked it this year. Poverty is not good, right? And this is when I was still making any kind of suit, any kind of color, right? Brown and all of that. But now I don't do that. If it's not blue, it's not black, and they hardly wear it the same, right? So to mean that you also grew when you get access to knowledge, you start perfecting. You see, I was wearing a shirt that line and all of that, but now you will hardly see that. So what am I trying to say? I grew into as far as branding is concerned and having branding elements and all of that. So conclusion, personal branding is the practice of you marketing yourself and your career as a brand, right? The ongoing process of establishing a prescribed image or impression in the mind of others about yourself. That is personal. It's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. I'm still working on my brand today, and I'll still do that for the next 20 years. As long as I am active, you need to keep on. It's an ongoing process whereby you need to make sure that you're establishing a prescribed image. Look at the words, a prescribed image, a prescribed impression in the mind of others about yourself. Everyone has a unique personal brand. Like all of us here, all of us 24 in this class right now, we all have a unique personal brand. But what you should all be striving for is a powerful, attractive, and visible personal brand. And it takes all the things that I've taught you to actually make sure that you get a powerful, attractive, and visible personal brand. To become indispensable in your industry, invest in your personal brand. Okay, good. So, questions?